A moving guide for people and businesses, corporate relocation. Chapter 1. Relocation/moving. Moving your stuff. The best way to move is to do it yourself with family and friends helping you. Simply rent a truck or borrow one. U-Haul rents out trucks. If you need a mover, there are two basic classes. The big, national movers. Everybody else. Your best bet is to pick a reputable company up front. Stick with a national name over the other upstarts, some of whom think they can do what they want. Some states regulates movers. Check with local consumer groups. The American Moving and Storage Association, amconf.org, 703-683-7410 sponsors arbitration hearings between its members and complainants. Movers often quote you a price and then when they've got you packed up, tell you you're overweight or hold your goods hostage at the other end until you pay more. By law, if you pay 110% of the original quoted price, they have to give you your goods and take you to court for the rest of the money. After all the problems I've seen in investigative reports, especially with single women, my best advice is don't try to save a few bucks on a less-known mover. Pay for a major moving company to avoid the headache with all the sleazos. Any bum can start a moving company and many do. Two big tricks the sleazos do are the name thing and the box thing. The name thing is that a local company will take on a name similar to one of the big ones, thereby fooling prospective customers into thinking that they're dealing with the major company. The box thing is that movers should put only small things in boxes, not furniture or anything else reasonably big. The accepted tools of the trade are blankets and rubber bands. The mover wraps a blanket over the piece of furniture or whatever, then puts big rubber bands over it, something like bike tubes, so if your mover is not using these tools but seems to be obsessed with packing everything in boxes, even furniture, you know he's scamming you for the surcharge per box. People have reported packing surcharges of over $1,000 just for a normal house's belongings. Make sure the company is adequately insured. Get it in writing. Movers will give you an estimate over the phone, then after the truck is loaded, they'll typically add a few $100s to the bill and you're stuck. Contact the Better Business Bureau, bbb.org, about the companies you're interested in, asking about their records of complaints, and visit the company buildings to see how professional they are. Go for 3 written estimates from different companies. If they don't come out and check your stuff, they could be a little shady. Accept only a written estimate and pay only a little up front. Request that the estimate be binding as the final price. You can save lots of money by doing your own packing. First off, look at it as a new beginning and throw away all your junk or give it to charity. Pack everything in boxes and move everything near the front door so they just come and take it all away already packed. Movers charge a lot for their boxes. Just go to supermarkets and liquor stores and get some for free. Keep a record of exactly what they load, give a copy to the lead mover before they load it and get him to sign it. Number your boxes with a big black marker. Even itemize the contents of every box. Movers charge by weight. They weigh the truck before and after the load, so watch to see that they don't overinflate the weight of your possessions by too much. The way to do this is to locate a weigh station near your destination and ask to go there with the driver for a reweigh when he arrives. The weigh station may charge you about $20. You'll have to pay about $20 to the weigh station for the weigh, but if the weight is way off, you could end up saving hundreds. If there are several guys working a job and it's a long-distance move, they may routinely rummage through the stuff before the driver arrives to transport it. They know they won't get caught because there are several different people handling your stuff for the duration of the trip. One time, everything arrived for me except 2 stereo speakers. It took over 3 months and lots of pressure on the company before I got my $350 back. Somebody just helped themselves to them. Keep the valuables and transport them yourself. The mover is legally bound to deliver by his projected delivery date, and if you experience discomfort as the result of a late delivery, you should be able to recover for damages, even in court if you have to, unless the mover can prove that it was something beyond his control. Get the mover to unload the boxes in the proper rooms. As soon as the goods are unloaded, check to see that it's all there and check to see if anything is broken. If so, file a claim with the company immediately. Legally, you have 9 months to file. If they blow you off, contact the BBB for help. They'll try to mediate the case, and if they can't solve it, go to the American Movers Conference for arbitration. Movers have different liability plans, some better than others. The free deal is recovery based on the weight of the loss, about 60 cents per pound. They may offer to sell you an added value protection plan for recovery based on the depreciated value of lost or broken items, or a full value plan based on full recovery of lost or damaged items. Intrastate moving is the worst of all because a lot of small-timers get into it. New York is especially bad. There was the story of one guy who refused to pay the final price, which was 3 times the estimate, so the movers just drove away with all his worldly possessions. The best bet of all is to rent a U-Haul or Ryder truck, get a few friends together, buy them some pizza and beer and do your own moving. The cheapest way to move long distance other than doing it yourself is to go to a freight forwarder. Look them up in the yellow pages. The deal is that you pack everything in cardboard boxes, drive to the company's terminal where they load it either into a container or in the back of a truck along with other cargo. They drive the stuff to another terminal near your destination point, you drive there and pick it up. It'll save you lots of money. There was another deal I saw advertised on TV, but I didn't get the company's name. They drop a container off at your house. You fill it up on your own. They come back, pick it up and either store it or move it for you. If you are a single woman, try to have a male friend come by because then the mover will be less inclined to snow you. Besides that, it's not safe for a woman to be in a house alone with several moving guys. Packing stuff in luggage. The following general information applies to going on a trip as well as going to live somewhere for a few months or so, like going to college. Take as little as possible. I was almost shocked as I was thumbing through the book catalog at 10speed.com and saw 2 books dedicated to packing for a trip. The Packing Book, Secrets of the Carry-On Traveler, Judith Guilford. Hassle-Free Business Travel, A Blueprint for Planning, Packing and Plugging In, WMJ Mitchell. It's very simple. You don't need a book of fluff to tell you what to do. Pack as though you're gonna be carrying the stuff on your back for a long hike across the desert. A lot of people have this vision bound up in their heads of what they'll do on their trip, like read X number of books and wear a certain dress to dance the night away, but trips have a life of their own. They're about action in the moment. They never go the way you plan them to. You don't even need to pack much clothes. At the end of the day on my trips, I would often take the wash and wear shirt and pants I wore that day. I never brought more of 3 of any article of clothing on any trip, and wash them in the hotel shower. They would dry by the next day. In a word, pack as lightly as you can. Learn from me. I started off in my first few trips packing a bunch of stuff, but generally, the more experienced the traveler, the lighter their load. You're there to travel and experience life, not to recreate your home. My advice is to buy some of those knapsacks and kit bags backpackers use as their luggage. You can put a lock on a duffel bag so that airport baggage handlers don't snoop through your stuff. Think like a backpacker. Go to the backpacking websites in this book. They have to travel with all their stuff in hand, unlike the average tourist who goes from hotel room to hotel room by bus, air, train, or car. Use a small backpack/carry-on. If you don't have enough room to pack all your stuff, you'll be forced to eliminate the unnecessary. Take a messenger bag for daily travel. A backpack is much easier to carry around than luggage. In case it gets cold, bring a jacket. Bring 1 pair of running shoes, no formal shoes. Bring all-purpose campers, or camping, soap. You can buy what you need where you are. Travel is supposed to be fun, not about lugging stuff around. Packing light makes travel simple. The main things to pack are air tickets, cash, cell phone, credit and debit cards, international driver's license, maps, paperwork, visa, passport, phone cord, photocopies of vital documents, Travel guidebooks. Travel insurance policy. Traveler's checks. Here are some other things to pack. Alarm clock. Backpack. Batteries. Books. Camera equipment and film. Cigarette lighter. Clothes. Compass. Contact lens stuff glasses. Contraceptives. Cosmetics. Daypack. Earplugs. Extra eyeglasses and hearing aids. First aid kit, if you're hiking. Flashlight. Fleece jacket. Games. Glasses, contact lenses. Important phone numbers on a piece of paper or in a wireless gadget. Jewelry. Map of the area. Medication. Money belt. Money, keep it in several different places. Mosquito net. Mosquito repellent. Notebook or journal and pens. Padlock and chain. Pen and paper. Penknife. Personal stereo and CDs. Photocopies of your birth certificate and passport. Photograph of your luggage in case it gets lost. Photos, postcards of home. Rain gear, umbrella. Recreation stuff for the kids. Sarong. Sewing kit. Shampoo. Sheet sleeping bag. Shoes. Shortwave radio. Sink plug. String. Sun hat. Sunglasses. Tampons. Toiletries. Toothbrush. Towel. Wallet. Watch. Water bottle. Water purifier or purification tablets. Waterproof money holder. catsa.acs.gc.ca, 888-294-2202, Air Transport Security Agency. ehow.com/how_208416one_pack-luggage.html, how to pack your luggage. princetonreview.com/college/articles/life/necessities.asp, comb the house and pack your bags, packing for college. eyeson.com. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/travel_and_subsistence. Travelite.org. upl.codeq.info, Universal Packing List. onebag.com, how to travel light. packinglistonline.com. Take care of moving business. Pack your stuff up. Pack as though you're going to live in a log cabin. Throw everything you don't really need away. Don't be a packrat or a nostalgia nut. Memories are in your head, not in cheap junk left over from your glory days. Either hire a real estate professional to sell your house or go on an FSBO website and list your house. A good agent will save you time and money in the process of selling your house. Book the movers. You can choose to have the movers pack everything, just a few things, or you can pack everything yourself. Pick a legitimate big company, not some fly-by-night from an ad out of the paper. Obtain estimates from several different companies. Arrange to have gas, water, phone, cable, and electric meters cut off. If you rent, give written notice to the landlord and make arrangements for the return of the security deposit. Get a change of address cards from the post office. Cancel contracted services like regular lawn care and pre-authorized checks like for cable TV. Cancel home insurance, gardening services, dry cleaning service, newspapers, magazines, etc. Transfer bank accounts and securities to branches where you'll be living. Transfer medical, dental, prescription and optical records to your new medical professionals' offices. Change car registration and insurance. Make arrangements for the moving of pets. Get rid of flammable liquids. It is illegal for movers to move them. Some things to consider when moving are: close accounts, change banks. Notify insurance companies of your new address. Change utilities. Pay the old bill so it doesn't screw up your credit record. Get medical records from your doctor, dental records from the dentist. Give or throw away all your trivial stuff. Disconnect utilities. Get car tuned up. Dispose of flammables. Take care of the phone. Get sleeping pills for pets. Make transport arrangements. Clean the fridge. Give friends your new address. Cut off any home deliveries like milk or newspapers. Fill out the appropriate change of address forms with the postal service. Fill out post office change of address forms. Use up as much food as possible before you move. Change automobile registration. Keep pets locked up in the new house for a few days. You might have to change your will. Check up on state income taxes. When you're settled in, register your kid at the new school. If moving is related to work, you can deduct the expenses from your income tax. When you move, call the local Chamber of Commerce or Social Service Agency and ask if they have a telephone directory and information about your new town. Many towns have a welcome hostess who brings you free gifts and a coupon book sponsored by the local merchants. Try valuepack.com. Go to your library for general information about your new town. Try the YMCA to meet new people. YMCAs have daycare facilities. Have a housewarming party. Invite your new neighbors. Some people get lonely. Join the church or a club. If moving overseas, contact the Center of Disease Control, cdc.gov, find out what immunizations you should get and get them. Don't act too American, blend in with the natives. Show respect by trying to learn their language. If you're a student, buy cheap furniture or use boxes. Don't rent furniture. It's a sucker deal. Moving scam. In most businesses, you might look for the little guy for the cheaper deal, but the big difference between moving and every other business is that the guy gets your stuff and can hold it hostage. In some other service like a home improvement job, you can just tell the guy to get lost. It doesn't work like that in the moving business, which is why it's the one business where I'll tell you to stay away from the little guy. Use only the well-established national movers. The scam quotient has gotten so bad that the good movers have asked the government to regulate them in order to separate the bad from the good. The deal now is that the American government, through the Department of Transportation, DOT.gov, regulates movers who do interstate moving, that is, move people across state lines, which means that anybody can put an ad in the paper posing as a mover, and as long as they do local, in-state moves, they're technically legal, but a lot of these guys are just straight-out con artists. I'll say it one more time then leave it, use only a well-established big-time moving company. The deal is that beefs with moving companies is currently a civil and not a criminal matter, even if the mover is holding your stuff hostage for more money. The sleazo movers know this and will play just about everybody, knowing the cops won't do anything about it. Read the contract. Get an exact figure for the full fee in writing. If you don't agree to this price, don't sign the contract. If you agree, you have a written record of the highest fee they can charge. Even then, they still don't care. They get to your destination, say it cost them more money than expected, then tack $1,000 on your bill, then they charge you $20 a day for storage while you file civil suit. You can't win. The base moving insurance offered doesn't cover much. It's a flat rate per pound, so don't leave any valuables or delicate items with the mover that could break. Many companies add on costs with their packing process. Consider packing your belongings yourself and getting a quote only loading the stuff on and off, not an extra charge for actually packing the stuff, charging extra for boxes, tape, etc. The most common complaint is that they charge you extra from the original bill after they've got your goods hostage, and if you don't pay, they will charge a daily storage fee on your goods until you cough it up. Movingscam.com. movingscam.com/blacklist.html, moving company blacklist. Avoid these moving companies. Moving interstate. The American government, through the Department of Transportation, DOT.gov, regulates movers who do interstate moving, that is, move people across state lines. The Federal Department of Transportation, DOT.gov, 888.soft, regulates moving companies that operate between different states but not local ones that just operate within a state. A lot of the local movers don't follow the interstate law. They don't report themselves to the federal. If they're doing interstate moving. They do it until they get in trouble, then close the company down and open up a new one. Interstate movers are required to show an MC number in their advertising, which is from 3 to 6 digits long. If they claim to be an interstate mover, ask for their MC number, then check it on the dot.gov website, Licensing and Insurance Division. A lot of fly-by-nighters claim to be licensed as interstate movers, but if they don't have this number, they're lying. Call the local Chamber of Commerce to see if there are complaints against the mover. Go to bbb.org, where it only takes a few seconds to type the company name in to see if there are complaints against it. Interstate movers are legally bound to publish their rates and rules in a document called a tariff. Ask your interstate mover for a copy of the tariff. Movers do not have to provide estimates. However, if they don't give you one, don't do business with them. Get the estimate in writing. There are 2 types of estimates. 1. A binding estimate means that's the set price. 2. A non-binding estimate means it's an approximate price which will be adjusted, usually upward, later. If the final charges exceed the estimate, if you pay 110% of the estimate, the mover must deliver the goods and defer the balance you owe for 30 days. Ask what type of estimate it is and get it in writing. At the time of the estimate, the mover must give you a copy of the estimate, a copy of the brochure called Your Rights and Responsibilities When You Move, dispute settlement/arbitration information in case it comes to that, a telephone number for inquiries and complaints to the company, service order. At the pickup, they should give you a copy of the bill of lading/freight with the mover's name on it and an inventory of the goods. Upon delivery, you should receive a copy of the completed bill of lading/freight. If you have a problem, call either the .bbb or your local consumer protection agency. Relocation services, relocation agents. There are relocation companies and consultants that hire their services out to individuals and companies who send their workers to postings in other areas. If you're an individual moving somewhere, you can hire one of these people to help you move. They do everything from hiring a mover to taking care of most of the paperwork and even get visas if the customer is moving to another country. They'll find a house or an apartment for you to rent or buy. There are also relocation professionals who work in the human resources or accounting department of large companies to help employees who are posted elsewhere move. Most have some college education, usually a business degree. For employees moving overseas, the relocation administrator must often calculate a moving allowance and factor in bonuses to the paycheck because many companies add bonuses to employees working overseas. There might be a housing allowance too. They have to make travel arrangements. They often have to pay for the travel of the employee's entire family. They might have to pay for the private schooling of the employee's children. ActiveRN.com, critical of relocation consultants because they refer you to their friends to sell you everything you need who give them a kickback. RelocationAgents.com. RHStemFousing.com, a national provider of extended stay, corporate housing services and emergency housing services. CorporateCare.ie, a relocation service based in Cork, Ireland. WhoWFrancis.com. CrystalsEllsDenver.com, Denver. Relo-experts.com, Nevada. RelocationCentral.com. Relocation-guide.net. RelocationGuideInline.com. RelocationHelpDesk.com, Raleigh, NC. ReloGuide.net. ReloJournal.com, Relocating. movingtoaz.com/relocation/index.php. LibertyRelocationDivision.com, 800-296-1802, Nevada. Kudzu.com/guide.jsp, guide name equals relocating.html, Atlanta, Georgia. Relocation Services. Insiders.com/relocation. MoveMeto.com. ERC.org, Employee Relocation Council, many real estate links. EURO-RELOCATION.com, relocation agents. FirstLineRelocation.com, helps you move. TheMyGroup.com, global relocation services. Chapter 2. Moving a business. Business moving/corporate relocation. Corporate relocation services move either individuals or entire companies to other locales. 123movers.com/corporate_relocation/s office/default.html. a1firstclass.com. allmovingquotes.com/corporate_relocation. armstrongrelocation.com. atlasworldgroup.com. b2bre.com, Business Real Estate Directory. bishopsmove.net/business relocation/employee relocation.htm. business.com. business.com/directory/trucking/moving_companies. businessmoves.com, corporate relocation consultancy for UK and international businesses. businessmoving.com. business-moving.com/resource_management.htm. cartist.com, global relocation and workforce development solutions. cfmoving.com/corporate relocation. edcmover.com, Texas movers. erc.org. lawmovers.com, Southern California. libertymoving.com/corporate_moving.html, New York State. mayflower.com/moving/relocation services/relocation services.htm. moviaroffice.com, office relocation and leasing guide. moving.com/irc, international relocation. mrinetwork.com/tools/relocation.htm. mymovingneeds.com/find_corporate_relocation.aspx. nyc.gov/html/New York seawasteless/html/in_business/relocation_guide.shtml, business relocation guide relocating your business. palmermoving.com/corporate_benchmark.htm. relocationapartments.com. relocationcentral.com, 800-272-7863. sirva.com. sterlingrelocation.com. stevensworldwide.com. sudeth.com/business.html. teamrelocations.com. thepepper.com/realty_business_relocation.html, Arizona business relocation services. unitedvanlines.com/mover/relocation services/relocation services.htm. upakrelo.com. viptransport.com. work.com/corporate relocation 1152. Move your business to the country. frugalmarketing.com/dtb/countrybusiness.shtml, move your business to the country. busymoms.com/articles/movbiz.html. en-parent.com/articles/art-rogake.htm. Chapter 3. Relocation/moving websites. Moving advice websites. protectyourmove.gov. homefair.com. moving.com. moving.com/movers/moving-company-quotes.asp, free quotes. offtocollege.com/collegemove, off to college guide to housing, dorm room and transportation needs. upack.com/moving-services/student.asp, abf upack moving, they deliver an empty trailer, you load, they drop it off, you unload. Penske-rental.com/personal_rental/moving_guide/college.html, Penske, 1, 900 U.S. locations. homefair.com/articles/moving-to-college.asp. homefair.com/real-estate/city-profile/index.asp, city report section for info. mayflower.com. monstermoving.com/moving_and_planning/quotes/jumpage.asp, moving company online quotes database. moving.org. movinghomechecklist.com. movecentral.com/address-central. selfstorage.org, 703-921-9123. move.com/guide, how-to-guides. towserver.net, 800-728-0133, Towing and Recovery Association of America. usps.com/moversnet. movingschem.com/forum. channels.netscape.com/ns/realestate/movingguide.jsp. movereviews.com. atlasworldgroup.com/howto. Major moving websites. homefair.com. moving.com. moving.com/movers/moving-company-quotes.asp, free quotes. offtocollege.com/collegemove, off to college guide to housing, dorm room and transportation needs. upack.com/moving-services/student.asp, abf upack moving, they deliver an empty trailer, you load, they drop it off, you unload. pensketruck-rental.com/personal_rental/moving_guide/college.html, Penske, 1, 900 U.S. locations. homefair.com/articles/moving-to-college.asp. homefair.com/real-estate/city-profile/index.asp, city report section for info. mayflower.com. Moving websites 1. If you need more info, get the book Moving and Relocation Sourcebook by omnigraphics.com. moversweb.com, moving companies. movers.com. 1-directory-international-movers.com. iplspain.com, international property link. movingoverseas.org, moving overseas, handy information on relocations. sendmybag.com, send my bag, a simple way to avoid airport queues, luggage hassles, and excess luggage fees. vonage.com/download/moving_checklist.pdf, Vonage moving checklist, printable moving checklist from an international phone company. goodmigrationshelps.com, Good Migrations Helps, reviews of different international moving companies. mymovingreviews.com, My Moving Reviews, reviews of relocation services plus a handy packing app. 2moveabroad.com, to move abroad, moving and packing tips. britannia-movers.co.uk/international-removals, Britannia Movers International Shopping, a global brand with 41 branches in the UK and a network of overseas agents for international removals, thus a global reach. reallymoving.com, reallymoving.com shopping, compare instant quotes for conveyancing solicitors, chartered surveyors, and removal companies. slideshare.net/attends/your-guide-moving-internationally-9510930 trans global, overviews the logistical aspects of moving one's belongings overseas. uline.com, boxes, new, discount moving boxes. boxquest.net, boxes, used, buy or sell moving boxes locally online. packrat.com, they bring container to your house, you fill it up, either store it or move it anywhere. Moving websites 2. 123movers.com. buyersguide.insideselfstorage.com. sparefoot.com. motorhome-storage.com. mover-listings.com. moverrankings.com. movers-moving.net. movers.com. moverscorp.com. moversdirectory.com. moverworldwide.com. movewithmovers.com. movingcompanyreviews.com. movingnerd.com. mymovingreviews.com. removalcompanies.co, removalreviews.co.uk, removalscompany.co.uk, removalslondonremovals.co.uk, removalstoragecompany.co.uk, selfstorageunit.com, selfstorages.com, selfstoragetracker.com, storagefront.com, transportrankings.com, umovers.com, upickstorage.com, usmoving.org, usstoragesearch.com, vanlines.com, vendors.selfstorage.com, webselfstorage.com, moving websites 3, realestatemovers.com, movemeto.com, amconf.org, picking a mover, make moving easier. homehistory.com/move/tools/movingcalc.asp movingadvocateteam.com, complaints. monstermoving.com/moving_and_planning/quotes, moving companies online quotes database. movingschem.com. oneswitch.com, changes the address for your magazine subscriptions. rightmove.co.uk. oneentry.com/moving_leads.jsp. movetopia.com. moversq.com. doortodoor.com/moving. newyorkcmover.com, NYC. 123relocation.com. aimrelocation.com, city profiles. askmedi.com, background info on a doctor for a fee. avatar-moving.com. buyboxes.com. call220.com/resources. correguide.com. emove.com. erc.org, Employee Relocation Council. fosrelo.com. globalvanlines.com. glyncounty.com/relocation_guide, Brunswick, Georgia. helpumove.com. home.calinit.com/rrcs. homecenter.com. homefair.com. homazaz.com/buyers/arizona-home-buyers-relocation.html, free Scottsdale and Phoenix, Arizona relocation guide. homehistory.com. insiders.com/relocation. homes.wsj.com, Wall Street Journal guide. Moving websites for irs.gov, taxes. jamesphelps.com/relocation-guide, free Orange County relocation guide. jobsvista.com/relocation.html. jobweb.org/catapult/cities. justrentals.com/relocating. lightningvanlines.com. make-e-money-instantly.com/articles/non-profit-organization-to-help-with-relocation. makethemove.com. members.aol.com/freerelo, relocation minneapolisrealestatehomes.com/relocation/index.php, Minneapolis relocation guide. monstermoving.com. move.com. movequest.com. movernay.com. moverquotes.com. moversguide.com. moviaroffice.com, office relocation and leasing guide. moving.com. homefair.com. movingcenter.com. movingestimates.com, get free moving quotes from moving companies, movers, auto transport companies, self-storage, and moving insurance. movingguide.org. movingtoaz.com/relocation/index.php. newcomersnetwork.com. pathfinder.com/money/departments/real_estate/best places, best places to live. powellguide.com/Lake Powell/relocation.html, Lake Powell relocation guide. realestatejournal.com/toolkit/relocation tools. relocatetoarkansas.com. relocation.tbo.com. rider.com, Truck rental. SantaFreelestateHomes.com/relocation/index.php, Santa Fe Relocation Guide. SayRelocate.com. Schoolmatch.com. Shagard.com, self-storage facilities. SomD.com/relocate, help relocating to Southern Maryland. Source1.on.ca, moving resources, North America. TAMPA4U.com/relocation_guide.html, Tampa Relocation Guide. TampaBayRealEstateHomes.com/relocation/index.php. uhaul.com, truck rentals. USPS.gov/moversnet. UVL.com, UVL.ca, United Van Lines. Vanlines.com. Virtualrelocation.com. WelcomeWagon.com. MovingLady.com. Pods.com. Moving companies lists. Movingschem.com/blacklist.html, moving company blacklist. Avoid these moving companies. Allmovingquotes.com. cpuc.ca.gov/static/transportation/movers.htm, California. epinions.com/moving_companies. epinions.com/moving_companies-all. escapeartist.com. expatica.com. franaandheroina.com/files/37327/movers_moving_companies.htm. homebulletin.net/moving_companies. hoovers.com/company-information/-hike/free-ind-facts.html. movers411.com. moversdirectory.com/companieslist.html. moving.com/moving_planning/quotes/index.asp, mover quotes. Get an estimate from a variety of different movers. Moving.org, American Moving and Storage Association. moving-ca-movers-california.com. moving-ct-movers-conectic.com. moving-il-movers-illinois.com. movingin.com. moving-movers-massachussetts.com. moving-md-movers-maryland.com. moving-nj-movers-newersey.com. moving-ny-movers-nework.com. movinguide.com. protocust.com/yss/resources/moving/companies.cgi. themovingyellowpages.com. topmovingcompanY4u.com. upack.com, upack, we drive, you save. American Movers Conference. American Moving and Storage Association. 1611 Duke St. Alexandria, Virginia 22314. 703-683-7410. moving.org. amconf.org. American Movers Conference. Dispute Settlement Program. 1611 Duke St. Alexandria, Virginia 22314. 703-683-7410. amconf.org. Many free booklets about moving will take your complaints and try to resolve problems with moving companies. AT&T if you're moving. 800-MOVE-ATT. att.com. Department of Transportation. Federal Highway Administration. Office of Motor Carriers. 4000 7th St. Southwest. Washington, D.C. 20590. 800-424-9312. 202-266-0009. 0665. fwa.dot.gov. Ask if an interstate mover is licensed, etc. Movers and Warehousemen's Association of America. 1001 North Highland St. Arlington, Virginia 22201. Movers are notorious for ripping people off. If you have a beef, try contacting this organization. Nationwide Relocating Service. 800-323-7097. Free listing of average house costs in 125 cities. Allied Van Lines. Box 9569. Downers Grove, Illinois 60515. AlliedVan.com. Free booklet, Guide to a Good Move. Moving Companies Info. BestChoiceMoving.com. CONFIAncaMoving.com, 866-266-8464. AlliedVan.com. AtlasVanLines.com. Beacons.com, Moving CO. ChipmanCorp.com. GlobalVanLines.com. Mayflower.com. Shigard.com, Self-Storage Facilities. Atlas Van Lines. 1212 St. George RD. Evansville, Indiana 47703. 812-424-4326. Fax, 812-421-7125. AtlasVanLines.com. Free moving booklets. Mayflower Movers. Box 107. Indianapolis, Indiana 46206. Mayflower.com. Free moving booklets. North American Van Lines. 800-524-5533. Reliable Moving Company. United Van Lines. 1 United Drive. Fenton, MO 630026. 800-325-3870. UVL.com. UVL.ca, Canada. Free moving booklets. Canadian Moving Info. Mover.net, Canadian Association of Movers. Moveit.ca. Canadian-movers.ca. Allaboutmoving.ca. artofmoving.com. atlasvanlines.ca. avatarmoving.com. fgiworld.com. fraserhoyt.com. householdmovers.ca. movingto.com. premiervanlines.com. relocate-canada.com. relocatecanada.com, info@relocatecanada.com. tippet-richardson.com, Scarborough, on. Moving to Canada. canetickets.ca/moving-to-Canada. Passport Canada, lost, stolen, inaccessible, damaged or found passports. ppt.gc.ca/planification/203.aspx?lang=ing. Guidelines for travel documents. aircanada.com/en/travelinfo/before/traveldoc.html. Thomspons Moving and Storage. 3 Freeman St. Middleton, NSB0S1PO. 902-825-3929. Fax, 902-825-6261. Moving International/Worldwide Moving. Most movers put your stuff in a container and ship it by ship. Smaller things can go on air cargo, but it's more expensive. In my opinion, the costs of transporting things is worth almost as much as the value of the stuff itself, not to mention the headache of moving it plus breakage. I say pack a few things in a few trunks, ship them via cargo and buy new furniture when you get there. Moving.com. AAFSW.org, Associates of the American Foreign Service Worldwide. This organization's website includes many helpful articles and links for expatriates outside the U.S. Foreign Service. oanda.com/converter/classic, classic currency converter. escapeartist.com, escapeartist.com, information on living, moving and working overseas, plus country destination profiles, publications and links. state.gov/s/cpr/rls, foreign embassy information, lists foreign consular offices in the United States and has the website and email addresses of embassies. homefair.com/homefare/calc/insalcalc.html, the International Salary Calculator, compare the cost of living in hundreds of cities around the world. moving.com/irc, moving, international. tunisiadaily.com/pdf/prices &earning.pdf, prices and earnings, a comparison of purchasing power around the globe. transitionsabroad.com, Transitions Abroad provides resources for work abroad, study abroad, cultural travel and living overseas. travel.state.gov/travel/living_1243.html, U.S. State Department services and information for American citizens abroad. worldclimate.com 123movers.com/international_movers/s international/default.html, get free quotes from international movers. alliedvan.net, brancher.com, craighead.com, escapeartist.com/expatriate/resources.htm, fidai.com, network of worldwide moving companies. insiders.com/relocation, linksmoving.com, monstermoving.com, move.com, movequest.com, moverlist.net, movermax.com, moverquotes.com, moving.com, movingcenter.com, navl1.com, North American Van Lines, oneentry.com, moving companies quotes international movers. pathfinder.com/money/departments/real_estate/best places, best places to live. relojournal.com, relojournal.com/newsbreak.htm, themovingyellowpages.com, topmovingcompany4u.com, uhaul.com, truck rentals, uvl.com, uvl.ca, 800-325-3870, United Van Lines. vanpack.com, sales@vanpack.com, 800-877-0444. vipvanlines.com, virtualrelocation.com. Self-storage websites. Try your local phone book. Most moving companies have a storage service. If you live in a college town, there should be several storage companies around the campus. upickstorage.com, name your price. pods.com, cert.co.uk, citieselfstorage.com, estageragefacilities.net, onsitestorage.com, self.storage.alltheindustrials.com, self.storage.alltheservices.com, selfstore.ca, Toronto, selfstorage.org, 703-921-9123, shagard.com, self-storage facilities, storage.eweek.com, storage.industrial101.com, storage.unit.alltheindustrials.com, stor-wel.ca, Montreal, 514-721-1717, thestoragecompany.net, yellowselfstorage.com, American Movers Conference, American Moving and Storage Association, 1611 Duke St. Alexandria, Virginia 22314, 703-683-7410, moving.org, amconf.org, Self-Storage Association, 4141 Crossgate Drive, Cincinnati, Ohio 45236, 513-984-6468. Membership Directory of 1600 Self-Storage Companies. City directory websites. Try the following website formula for any American city you're interested in. ci.name of city. 2 letter state abbreviation. US like ci.akron.oh.us, or simply don't use the ci at front like akron.oh.us. For towns and villages, use community as the suffix like community.name of town or village. 2 letter state abbreviation. US like community.waterville.tx.us. local2me.org. Type in your zip code and you get all kinds of links to your part of town, from shopping to friendship. 2chambers.com, list of chambers of commerce's USA. bucknell.edu/geosearch. chamber-of-commerce.com. simdia.com/sites.html. cities2k.om. cities.com. citydirectories.psmedia.com/index. cityguide.lycos.com. city.com. city.net. city.net/regions/north_America. city.net/countries. city.net/countries/United_States. city.net/countries/United States/ insert full name of any state in here. citypass.net, buy a city pass for attractions in major American cities. citysearch.com. city.net/destinations. citiespin.com, 800-275-5895. citiesurf.com. cityview.com. clickcity.com/index2.htm, Chamber of Commerce directory. clickcitytravel.com. culturefinder.com. digitalcity.com. divein.com. editoranpublisher.com. forum1.com. freetrip.com. homefair.com. homehistory.com. indo.com/distance, distances between places, latitude and longitude calculations. infospace.com/cityguides. isotropic.com/metro/scope.html. jobweb.org/catapult/cities. justgo.com. locality.com. local.yahoo.com. mapquest.com. members.tripod.com. metroblogging.com. metro.justieu.fr/bin/cities/English. money.cnn.com/best/bplive. moviefone.com. neosoft.com/citylink/default.html. nsbol.com/nsbol/comindex/us_index.htm. realcities.com. sidewalk.com. stanford.edu/geosearch. starcitysearch.com. superpages.com. thomas.com, The Thomas Guide, sell city directories for major cities. timeout.cm. tout.com. townonline.com. vindigo.com. travelocity.com. useacitylink.com. uchamber.com, U.S. Chamber of Commerce. vtourist.com/vt. welcome.to. wings.buffalo.edu/world/vt2. worldexecutive.com/cityguides. yahoo.com/promotions/metros. yahoo.com, go to more Yahoo button than Yahoo Metros. zagat.com, restaurant ratings. Environmental maps. These are maps that show environmental hazards geographically, like toxic waste dumps or other environmental problems. epa.gov/enviro. fema.gov/individual/home.shtm, flood maps, disaster info. hud.gov/emaps, environmental maps. Vehicle transport/driving free. These are auto transport companies who transport vehicles for people on the backs of tractor trailers for a fee. Some of these auto transport companies also use drivers to drive their vehicles cross-country, so if you have a license, don't have a criminal record and put up a small deposit, they will give you a vehicle to drive cross-country or to your particular destination for free. They'll probably fingerprint you. There are many automobile transporting companies listed in the phone book. I really haven't ventured to take the initiative to call them and ask whether they accept civilian drivers, however, these ones actively advertise for civilian drivers. Another approach is to call a car rental company and ask for the car control department, then ask if there are any deadhead or non-rev cars going to a particular city. These are cars that need to back to where they came from. This approach might not work, but it's worth a try. Driveaway.com 1AAMOTORCYCLES.com, Motorcycle Transport Company 123MOVERS.com AAAT.com Aardvarkauto.com 888-866-4020 AmericanaAutoTransportCompany.com ASWD.com 800-338-8850 O2AndTruckShippers.com 888-577-5400 Truck Transport Co. ships trucks. AutoDriveAway.com 800-621-4155 Autotransporter.com AutovanRVDelivery.com 574-534-4250 BlueHighways.net 800-622-6601 BTransport.com CarMovingGuide.com DasaAutoshippers.com DependableAutoshippers.com EagleOnExpress.com 209-483-8925 EnclosedVehicleTransport.com 888-827-6799 EasyAutoShipping.com FindAHauler.com HorselessGarage.com 800-631-7796 MoveCars.com NewmanInternational.com 813-221-5000 PassportTransport.com 800-325-4267 ShipCarDirect.com ShipMyVehicle.com 877-512-2227 SundayAutoTransport.com 717-697-0939 Transpecialists.com 626-968-4904 Truck Transport Service, ship trucks. TransportAutos.com/driveaway, 800-677-6686 Transport.industrial101.com Auto Driveway Co. 310 South Michigan Avenue, Chicago, Illinois 60604 800-346-2277 AutoDriveAway.com Los Angeles 213-666-6100 AutoDriveAisla.com